And there we go. We're live. All right. Welcome back to the Talking Average Fitness Podcast, everybody. My name is Sam Burns. Joined as always by the baldest Ziz impersonator ever, Mr. Kevin McCarthy. Kevin, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't think that was fully like his pose though. Like that was more, I don't even know what that was. Um,
Old
anyways,
school Arnold, maybe.
probably.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Ziz was more like arm like bench. You could still get the you can't see me in this, so you can still get the bicep.
Yep. Yep.
And so he was more kind of like here, getting that flex going,
Yep.
you know,
For sure.
all that fun stuff. May he rest in
Absolutely.
peace.
May he rest in
Um,
peace. Poor dude.
yeah.
Let me make this quiet. Oh, I did make it quiet. Fantastic.
So
Uh,
anyways, well, we're not talking about biceps today
we're not
or
talking about
Ziz.
biceps. Or Ziz. Although this is a worthwhile topic. If you've never gone down that rabbit hole,
Oof.
like,
Oof.
yeah, there's a lot
If you
there.
if you don't know who that is,
Yeah.
do a Google foo.
Yeah, and yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if you've never had cause to look in that part of the
Yeah.
internet, you
Hmm.
would never know. But, like,
Right.
there's dude built a whole subculture,
Yeah.
and partly because of his passing as well.
Yeah.
And
But
so
also like incredibly influential in the, to I'm sure Pat Barber's ears are ringing somewhere in the aesthetics realm of fitness,
yeah,
the bodybuilding physique competitor side.
for sure.
So not CrossFit related, but
No.
still interesting stuff. There are things you can learn from other groups.
Yeah, and it's and, like, as coaches and as practitioners, like, we should have open minds about, you
Hmm.
know, other stuff that we could talk about, that we could learn about and stuff like
I
that.
just went and got a pump today. That's all I
Did you?
did. Just got absolutely massive. Did like an upper body push day. Well,
Nice.
so
So did I,
little update
ironically
on
enough.
things. Like some life changes happened for those
Uh-huh.
that don't know me.
Yeah.
I'm no
Let us know.
longer working in an affiliate for the first time in 10 years. I am no longer working in a CrossFit affiliate.
What
Um,
Hang on. Finish
go
talking, and then
ahead.
we're gonna come back to that, which I think this whole episode now is gonna be about you. Sorry, buddy.
Fucking Christ. God damn it. Katie, we'll come back to your topic.
Yes. Yeah, my wife
uh,
had a great topic, and we might end up coming, like, depending on
it
how the
might be a
circle
full
goes.
full circle. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, yeah.
Um, what did I just say? Oh,
You're
for the
not an affiliate. First time in 10 years.
first time in 10 years, I've not worked in a CrossFit affiliate, whether that's part-time, three-quarter time, full-time,
Right.
full and a quarter time,
Right.
whatever it is, no longer part of a CrossFit affiliate.
Mhm.
Um, we're not going to dive into that whole whatever, but just life changes.
Yeah.
Um, so I took a couple days to sit there and go, well, because we all have this thing, right, where we identify with things that we do or
Yeah.
things that we enjoy. So, like, I am a CrossFit coach.
Yes.
Like, that's what I am. And yet, I am a CrossFit coach that does not have a CrossFit affiliate to coach at, be a part of,
Mhm.
work out at, all that jazz.
Yeah.
So I took 2 days to just sit down and go, I don't know what to do with myself. Like I
Right.
like I just don't know what to do with my hands. I don't some existential crisis,
Mhm.
back and forth, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I had a friend, like I posted a picture of like, fitness gonna look a little bit different on Instagram. And I had one friend reach out, be like, really? You're working out here? The next time situation, he was like, all right, we'll let it go.
Yeah.
But it's like I bought a month-to-month membership at there's a Crunch Fitness like 10 minutes from me that at least gives me a space to work out
Yep.
while I sort it out.
Yep.
And part of it is a little bit of like burnout from the CrossFit space. Like I've just
Mhm.
been doing it for 10 years, nose against the grindstone for the entire time.
Yeah.
Um, and so there's a little bit of a burnout factor there. Secondly, it's the biggest balling on a budget move I can make. That's
Yep.
not a Planet Fitness, um, whilst I currently don't have a job.
Yep.
Um, and so it's like it's got the stuff that it's got 8 squat racks with lifting platforms and bumpers. The barbells spin decently. So if I'd like to clean or snatch or whatever, I can. Um, it's got like of all the different bodybuilding machines you could think of, it's got like 6 of each machine, a whole cardio deck. There's a functional fitness space Uh-huh. Um, the
Does it have a
I'm
rig?
gonna call kind of. It's like it's the most it's like if a bodybuilder, functional fitness practitioner saw a rig and said, "I'm gonna fuck with that a little bit."
Right.
Like that's what it is. It
That's
has
not
that
good
like
enough.
the never-ending rope attachment where like you can sit on the floor and like pull the rope and it just like you've never seen this?
I've never seen that.
Oh, well, it's like a pulley system, right? But it has resistance on it, and it's literally like a rope that's looped around a pulley,
Oh,
and so
yeah.
you could sit on the floor, you can stand, but it's basically like you could legless rope climb
The endless rope.
to infinity and beyond, um, and just get the most gnarly bicep pump ever.
Dude, that's wild.
Um, it is. So they have 2 of those attached to the rig. The rig itself is a set of monkey bars. So it's not like pull-up bars. It's like you're trying to like, traverse down the thingy.
Yep.
It's got 2 pull-up bars that are um, like the Dirty South bars.
Yep, yep.
It's not Rogue, but it's like that sort of looking thing in there. And then there's 4. I'm gonna call them wall ball targets, but they're like 7 feet off the floor. Like I could standing dunk on that bitch.
Right, right.
Um, and so there's wall balls and kettlebells and stuff like all stacked across the back rack, and some bands and
Right.
shit. There's a strip of I didn't count the yardage, maybe 20 yards of turf and a couple sleds. There's some uh what the fuck is the battle ropes
Yep,
attached in there, and
yep.
then like a couple landmine attachments. So that's like the
Okay.
functional fitness space that
There's
you
a
could
that's a lot of stuff.
there. It's like it's a big space. It's a nice gym, um, and it's like membership, like a month to month membership with no yearly commitment because I have no idea where life is going to take me at this point. Is $15. And so I was like, they're open from like 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it accounts for dad hours if need be.
For sure.
Um, and it's like it's got the times I've been going. Like I'm more of a morning person, so I go relatively earlier in the morning, and there's like 6 people in the gym. I've just got like free range, just like do what I want to do. So I kind of programmed myself a twist on like a Wendler 5-3-1 type deal.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like a 4-day split, lower body and upper body push pull days.
Yeah.
And so it's got like one main lift where you do like your 3x5, your 3x3, or your 3x1. You kind of progress that in terms of the loads and percentages.
Mhm.
And then the rest of the accessory is just like bro shit.
Yeah.
And so today was a 3x5 bench press, and then did some dumbbell incline press, did like a machine shoulder press just because I've never done one. And I was like, this could be interesting and fun. Why the fuck not?
Right.
So like sat my ass in a machine and did the machine shoulder press, and then did some cable flies because Pump City, and then some cable tricep extensions. Just got like a massive pump. Um, Took like 40 minutes all put together, like warm up to last set of tricep, whatever, and
Yeah.
then um, ran a 5K and did like a little warm up for that, and then that was the day. It's about just over an hour, and I was like, fitness.
There
It's a
you go.
different kind of fitness, but fitness.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a different kind of fitness than we very often talk about, than we very often see, especially, like, inside of our
Yeah.
little bubble that is CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
User.
yeah.
And it's
It's
like
interesting.
it's a lot of stuff that people would think of like, if you do like accessory work in your
Mhm,
programming for CrossFit,
mhm,
it's just kind of doing like a little bit more of that.
mhm,
But it's like I kind of just like in my brain was just like, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do, what I can do. I need a relatively cheap option that will allow me a space to work out that's not my spider infested uninsulated garage.
That's
um
real. That's real.
Oh, it's so I need to clean it out because like I have the beginnings of like a garage gym in there. I really just need like a barbell.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just like it's like a metal frame. It's like a IKEA made a garage. Um, it's just like metal panels strapped to like a metal thing, and it's just like sat on like a slab of concrete.
Okay.
Um, and so like it's a structure, it's there. But there's no insulation. There like if I were to hook a pull-up bar to it, like somewhere,
Mhm.
and I were to kip once, I would knock over. Um,
The building.
so yeah, the whole building just gets off it goes. Um, so yeah, just need a cheap option that would allow me to do stuff. And I'm like, well, I can't like full on, like I'd probably be the weird dude, like just doing burpees and handstand push-ups in the corner, which I have no problem with. I have no shame. But
Mhm.
I was also just like, let's try something different for a little while, you know?
There you go.
Who knows?
And so, like, this is really interesting. So, like, this kinda
I'm
highlights
glad you're interested.
well, I find it interesting because, again, we are in such a little fucking bubble in CrossFit,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
and when you start even attempting to look
Yeah.
outside of the bubble, what you
Mhm.
find is the vast majority of people are just trying to figure shit out. You
Yep.
know, it's the same thing, except they don't have a decade of coaching experience and an education
Right.
rooted in health and
Yeah.
fitness, and so they they go to the space where they pay the money to be able to do that on a monthly basis, and 10 to 15 bucks a month sounds pretty reasonable, and
Mhm.
what you get for 10 to 15 bucks a month is access to stuff and nothing else,
Mhm.
and, like,
Yep.
Kevin
You can pay more. Like they had tiers. Like if you wanted some nutrition guidance, like through because they Crunch Fitness has an app that you
of
like.
course
It
they
gives you
do.
the barcode so you can sign into the gym. But they have an app. So like if you want nutrition support, you can pay this much a month. If you want access to a personal trainer, you can pay
Right.
this much per month. And then I would assume X amount per session you actually book with them
Absolutely.
to work with them.
Yeah.
But like there's all the different options. So they have personal trainers that were there. There was like, and here's what got me, right? Is like I walk in because of course you in a CrossFit gym, if you're coaching cross classes, you're a full-time CrossFit coach. For those of you guys that have been in that world, know that there's not a huge amount of downtime. It's not like I'm just twiddling my thumbs for 6 hours and I coached a class once and
Right.
that was it. Like there's a whole lot that goes into it. There's not a whole lot of like just downtime. There was
Right.
while I was on the treadmill doing my 5K run, like staring right at the desk, and there was like I think eight. I'm gonna assume one of them was just a front desk person that's like, I'm just here to check people in, and that's
Sure.
all they're doing.
That's their job.
And then the rest of them were, I would assume, personal trainers that were either available for sessions, were waiting for clients to come in for sessions. I saw a couple of them like, hop off, do a session over here, like doing stuff. But for the
Doing
that
stuff.
vast majority of them were just like sat behind that desk for the hour and 15 minutes that I was there.
Sure.
Um, and I was like, why are there seven of you right now? But maybe it's just that they're available for if someone just comes in and goes, yeah, I'd like a trainer. Maybe. I don't know. I've
I
spent 2 days in this gym. I don't know.
right. I think that that's highly possible. So, like, when you have trainers on staff at a facility like that,
Yep.
part of it is sales commissions. Like,
Mhm.
hey, you're gonna come in and someone's interested in something cool. Let's sit down and talk about that. And so, like, part of it is like you eat what you kill. And so
Yeah.
you have to be able to close. Um,
Yeah.
but some part of it could also be, and I remember this back before I got into CrossFit. There's a place down in Dedham, Massachusetts, a big athletic facility,
Mhm.
and I was a member there for a period of time, and they gave me a personal trainer, and
Mhm.
it the extent to which I had a personal trainer was I had a human who walked me through a handful of exercises once, and then put it on a sheet of paper, and then said, "Cool, go do these," and he just like slid it across the desk, and
Sick.
that was the extent of the personal trainer's interaction, and so
Yeah.
um, knowing what I know now, it's interesting to, like, I haven't thought about that in a long time, and so, like, now you're talking about that,
Mhm.
yeah, they're just, like, dicking around, and I remember seeing a bunch of these guys just, like, standing there being like, they're just hanging out, and they're just
Yeah.
sitting there doing the thing on their phone,
Yep. Yep.
100% just hanging out.
I will tell you what though, they've nailed the marketing for the male trainers for any
Yeah,
potential female clients because they've got all their male trainers. And of course, they're like in more of like the bodybuilding side of things. So
sure.
like they're like fit looking dudes.
Yep,
And they've got them in a tight black shirt
yep.
and gray sweatpants as their uniform.
Yeah.
And I was like, nailed it.
Hey, hey,
You know,
sex sells, man.
dude.
Yep. So so you're in a different spot, you're doing a different kind of training, and I think this is really, really
Mhm.
good for both athletes and coaches to hear because from an athlete perspective, part of what you get when you so you pay $15 a month, you're also solving your own problem, right?
Yes.
And if people are going into an affiliate, they don't have to solve that problem.
Right.
They have a coach or trainer
Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
who stands at the front of the room and says, "This is what we're doing. This is what it looks like best
This is
case
how we
scenario
do
here."
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is how we
I'm
do it.
I'm going to
No,
tell
not
you
like
what to
that.
do. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like you would want it to be like that.
Yeah.
And that's the delta between $15 a month and access to a space and $195 a month, where every single time you come in, not only is that person going to know
It's
your name, but
yeah.
they're going to provision something that's going to make it worth that money, right?
Yeah. And I think this is something where, again, looking at like the delta between like an affiliate and where I'm going now, which is just
Right.
a just commercial Globo gym type space. You
Mhm.
can lump them all in the same bucket.
Mhm.
The barrier to entry, because when people like look at a CrossFit gym membership and they're like, oh, that's $200 a month. Whereas like I can just go to Crunch Fitness over here and that's $15 a month. And you're like,
Yeah.
yep, you absolutely can. But how many people, and we're coming up on the turn of the year,
Here we
January
go.
1st, new year,
Here
new me.
Yep.
And how many people go, this is the year, I'm doing it, I'm getting after it. And they have the motivation. And they're pointing in the right direction. I'm going to go do something. They sign up for a membership at Crunch Fitness, 15
Yep.
bucks a month. Easy, done deal. There you go. Um, they walk in the doors, they pop their headphones in, they look around at all the machines, and they go, what do I do now?
Yeah. Now what?
And yeah, exactly. Now what?
Yeah.
And so that like again, machines can provide like a low barrier to entry in the sense that like you can't really fuck them up. They only move in one plane of motion. You're sitting down for most of it. Like there's limited risk of injury and all that fun stuff. They're not
Let's
super
say reduced
effective.
risk.
Reduced, okay,
Certainly.
reduced risk,
Yeah.
reduced risk of injury. Um, and so most people just like they'll just go do some machines of something. They're not really sure what it's doing or why.
Yeah.
Um, and then that's where you have the people that like they go in and then after a week, 2 weeks of just like, I have no idea what I'm doing,
Yeah.
they quit or
Yeah.
they just stop or what the gym is looking for
Yeah.
is they stop showing up, but they never cancel their membership.
That is absolutely 100%
Um,
what they're looking for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, this morning in the gym, I like this is a big fucking space with a lot of equipment, which I would assume, again, this is me assuming, would require a good amount of maintenance to like keep everything running. I know when I worked at Harvard Business School and we had machines, like machines would break
Yeah.
and you'd have to like get replacement part in, someone come and service it, put it back together, all that fun stuff, just because like it was getting used a ton. But it's
Yeah.
like that shit's expensive. And so there's a lot of expensive equipment. It's all branded. It's
Yeah.
a clean space that like the operation can't be, and the gym is open longer than most affiliates, going from like 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. The
Yes.
lights are on, the music's going, all the stuff's happening. And I'm like, it ain't cheap,
Mhm.
but like I was in the gym from oh god, like 8:15 this morning
Yeah.
until 9:30.
Yep.
The whole time I was there in that hour and 15 minutes, the most amount of people that were between those four walls was 10 people in the whole space. And it
Sure.
was like it's had to be like a 10,000 square foot space.
Right.
And I'm like, it's just I'm like that. You're not for with $15 a month memberships. You're not making the ship fly. Like it's just how many memberships are people not using?
90%.
But yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And in that same scenario of like, what do I do now? No idea. And then
Yeah.
now you're just paying $15 a month for the rest of your life, and you've never gone back to the gym because you
Right.
forgot to cancel it. You didn't cancel it. You forgot about it. And the unique position that I'm in, where if I were to like, I've got limited equipment in my garage. I've
Mhm.
got an assault bike, which you can cause plenty of pain with that, like a handful of dumbbells and kettlebells, and like I've got plates, but no barbell to put them on.
Right.
Um, and so it's like, you know, if I were to just, if my fitness plan was to just wander into the garage and
Mm.
like, I know that I've got enough experience and knowledge to where I can scribble something on a whiteboard, put something together and be like, I know I'm going to get fit.
Yeah,
and this is going to give me the results I want. I can just walk into a Crunch Fitness, like, and again, like the way my brain works is more like movement patterns as opposed to
sure.
muscle groups. So I'm not doing like
Push, pull, squat,
just a
hinge.
chest day. I did an upper body push day. So
Yep,
it's everything regarding upper body pushing. Um, and so um, it's like I know that I can put something together that's going to be effective and efficient,
mhm.
and I'm gonna get I'm gonna move the needle doing that stuff.
Yes.
Like I have no doubt that what I've put together is something that's going to be effective. Whereas most people coming in are like,
Bruh.
yeah. And that's where like the difference in value is where like either whether it's paying for I'm going to say a good trainer that actually like does the thing and shows you stuff and like actually works with you versus Sam's experience of like, here's 6 basic movements. Go do these for the rest of forever.
Yeah,
Or you walk into an affiliate and you have like you don't have to worry about it. The programming is provided to you. You walk in the gym, it's on the
yeah.
whiteboard, you go fack. And then the coach goes, yep, exactly.
Let's get after it.
RPCM bitches. Yeah, let's get some. Um, yeah.
So I so contrasted against my day, right, which was and I have
Yeah.
a full one-person affiliate inside of my garage.
Yeah. You
I
can get two
have
people in there.
I
You can do
can
two
get
people.
2 people in there, but,
Yeah.
like, for a
Yeah.
single human being, I have more things than you could do in a single workout. I have kettlebells and adjustable
You should
dumbbells, and
test
I've
that.
got
Just make a mega chipper.
I don't
Take
wanna
each
I
piece
really
of
don't wanna.
equipment that you take each piece of equipment, one movement, 50 reps of each.
Oh, gross.
Take like
Maybe,
2 hours.
maybe. Um, but, like, I've got the stuff, and
Mhm,
today it was one of those things where it's like I got up early, not
mhm,
up early, I actually slept in a little bit, but, like, I got up at my normal time, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go into the garage and do a thing," and then about 5 minutes before I wanted to start that, I was like, "I pay for an affiliate membership, like, let's just go to the affiliate," and so I got in the
mhm.
truck, and I drove in, and, I had no idea, 0 clue what the workout was, and it was 7 by 3 strict press, and
Nice.
yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah,
7 by 3 strict press, and
beautiful.
I didn't have to think, I just did, and, build up to 70 or 75% and hold that across all the sets. It was beautiful.
Which for anyone that's counting for Sam, that's like 225, 235, somewhere in that range, right?
Try 95 pounds. 95 pounds for 21 reps,
There you
and
go.
which I'm happy with. Upper body pressing
Yeah.
sucks for me.
Dude, you
So
got the extenda arms. I feel you, bro. Upper
exactly,
body pressing
exactly.
is never gonna be
And then
uh,
post-workout, we did just a little bit of handstand practice, and
nice.
so I got to play, frog stand and help other people, like, do that stuff because 'cause I've got a little bit of education, and the coach and I, Kina,
Mhm,
that was the class that I would normally coach, so Kina and I have gotten very close in the last 16 weeks or so. Um, and it was easy, and I got out of there on time, and I took a phone call on the way home, and, it was nice.
mhm.
Um, could I write my own program? Absolutely. I don't have any interest in that. I mean, I can,
Yeah.
but I I firmly believe to a certain extent programming doesn't matter. And
Okay.
so
As
what
a
I
programming nerd and someone who specializes in programming, I will tell you programming doesn't matter. Not
it,
nearly as much. Like you can fuck it up. You can be like, hey, back squat Monday, wall ball Tuesday, walking lunges Wednesday.
sure.
Like you can ruin it that way, but it's like programming doesn't really matter. Not nearly as much as the effort you're gonna put into it and the like focus and attention to detail that it deserves.
Well, and I would
Which
go even one further, and I
mhm,
would say even that is not as important as longitudinal adherence and consistency.
mhm, 100%.
So that same person who might not bring 100% focus, but who shows up 100% of the
5 days
days
a
that they
week. Yep.
exactly, they're
5
gonna
days
go
a week,
further than the 3 days a
52
week,
weeks a year.
100%
Mhm,
person who's gonna go even further
mhm.
than the 1 or 2 days a week, 90-minute AMRAP bullshit person, and
Yeah, yeah.
I and so I like I like not having to figure stuff out, and so I know what I like, I
Mm,
know what my body likes, I know what my goals are for myself as a professional and as an athlete, and I going into day, I know that,
mhm,
Cross CrossFit Casco Bay runs cap, so it's like, "Okay, whatever it is, it's not going to be overdone volume." I could have
yep,
also easily gone into the garage gym, and I could have, um Justin Swart from South Africa is programming the most recent block for TGC, or no, it's Jeremy out of France, and
mhm,
I could have done the gymnastics course programming, and, you know, any of those would have been great options. So but the difference would be I'd be by myself, and I'd have to
mhm,
muster up the 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 gumption, the chutzpah to, get myself to intensity, right?
mhm,
And that there's a cost to that. Whereas if I'm like in a class, I can source that excitement and that intensity from other people in the class. And so
mhm,
that's one of the reasons that like being inside an affiliate is so effective. You
yep,
naturally pull competition style feeling into a collaborative environment, and it's part of the reason why
mhm,
people do so well. Um, and so now as a coach, someone who has been in an affiliate for a
mhm,
decade, let's been your primary method of employment
mhm,
for a decade, right? And there are a
mhm,
lot of coaches, trainers. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole and quibbling over that right now, but there are a lot of people who are in that same boat. They've been doing that same thing. And for whatever reason, they find themselves in the position of either they're between positions or they're making a shift. I know someone just had a major life change. They had a kid. You're doing that as well. You're gonna have a kid pretty soon. But like
yeah,
she's a trainer, and so sh
mhm,
she's carrying the kid, and so she goes and she has the baby, and like that entire
yep,
time, post postpartum, like, kind of getting back and getting her body back to herself in as much as a mother can. Um, all of that, she had to like step away from doing her coaching. And
mhm,
so, in the position where you're in, I'm going to put you on the spot here just a little bit, right?
I love it.
Shifting from I have the quote unquote security
Mhm,
of
mhm,
I go to a place, I do the thing, then I hold my hand out, and then someone digitally or physically puts the money in my hand, and then I go home, right?
mhm.
To shift from that to how how are you doing, buddy?
Um, I'm doing good. It was strange when I'd like started telling some people that, what had happened, and you know, everybody that I spoke to had a much more severe reaction than I did.
Right.
And um like even in the meeting with my former affiliate owners,
Yeah.
when we're going over things and they were like, this is what's happening,
Mhm.
I was just like, okay, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
they listed out their stance and reasons. Like, whether or not, and I've said this to some people, whether or not I agreed
Mhm.
with whatever reasons is irrelevant. But like, their logic was sound from their point of view and from their whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and like, it was a perfectly fine meeting. We like ended things on good terms, or the meeting ended on good terms.
Amicably.
Um, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And as people start to learn, find out, everyone had a more severe reaction. They're like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm actually fine. And the reason I'm fine is for a few reasons.
Mhm.
Number one, over the course of this year has been a massive shift in my mindset, how I approach things, how
Mm.
I think about things, and like professional growth in that kind of avenue.
Yep.
And so I'm fully confident that either A, the right opportunity will present itself, because sometimes it does. You're just bumbling about life, just looking for food and whatever. And
Mhm.
all of a sudden something just like, and you go, oh, cool, let's go do that.
Right.
Um, so occasionally that happens. And so either that will happen, just through the course of life,
Right.
something will present itself and I'll be like, hey, or I am fully capable of creating an avenue for myself to get where I want to go,
Mhm.
and achieve the things I want to achieve. And the goals that I have are different than they may have been in years past, where, you know, uh, it could not be in an affiliate anymore,
Mhm.
where it's just like, hey, my work just isn't inside the walls of a CrossFit affiliate anymore.
Right.
And that's okay. Whereas, not that I might never join an affiliate ever again,
Right.
but like that might not be where my work happens.
Right.
And like if you had told me 2 years ago, hey Kevin, like you're gonna be okay, like in 2 years, you're gonna be completely fine with not working inside an affiliate anymore, I probably would have like said blasphemy. And
Right.
but fully okay with not being inside the walls of an affiliate if that's not the right opportunity. And for me, I've kind of aligned things of, rather than like trying to find a job
Yeah.
or a position and then structure the rest of my life around that. I want my job or my position to be structured around my life.
Right.
I am not willing to travel so far from my
Mhm.
wife and my future daughter, who will be here in like 2 days, it feels like.
Yeah, bro.
It's like a month, but that's gonna go by like bam.
Yep.
Um, so not willing to travel
Mhm.
um that far from my family,
Yep.
and I'm not willing to give up more time than, you know, X amount of time hours per day away from my family.
Good.
And so having those priorities set allows me to then structure, okay, what kind of opportunities am I trying to create for myself
Mhm.
if an opportunity does present itself,
Yeah.
you know, where like again, if someone popped, I'm just gonna, if something popped up and it goes, hey, we're an affiliate, you know, an hour away from you.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you. We love your expertise. No, too far. Thank you. But like not willing to make that sacrifice anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then that takes, what would be like an 8 hour day of work into like an 11-hour day if you
Yeah.
account for like a commute and, all that fun stuff. So, um,
Yep.
not willing to give that stuff up. So that's kind of like been the major shift where like I'm not concerned, where I will either find an opportunity, be presented an opportunity, or create an opportunity for myself that will
Good.
check the boxes for me while not having me present or have to compromise on those things.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, so and when everything all happened, and you know, start called my wife, called my parents, like first call to my mom, I was like, hey mom, you sitting down?
Yeah.
Yep, sweet. Don't panic, like because your knee jerk reaction is gonna be panic. Here's what happened.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I wasn't concerned. I'm not like overly like I'm not panicked going forward.
Yeah.
Um, because I have the knowledge, the expertise to put myself in a position to either again create an opportunity or receive an opportunity
Mm.
that's right for me.
Yeah.
Um, so
Good. And I think that this is really important to talk about because those of us who have been doing CrossFit for a certain amount of time, we have our favorite coaches at our affiliates who, you've had this person in your life for a couple of years. if that person is of a certain age,
Mhm.
the likelihood that sooner rather than later they're going to be making a major life shift is pretty high. And when I talk about a major life shift, for example, having a child, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyone who has kids knows this, obviously, but like things come into focus in terms of like, oh, okay, so like it's one thing to just, and I'm not in any way trying to diminish what you do, but I'm going to diminish what you do for
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
humor's
No,
sake.
100%. Yep,
You're not
I'm with you.
fucking around inside an affiliate and just like working out for fun. Like
Mhm.
I now need to support another human being and all the
Mhm.
associated expenses that go along with that.
Mhm.
And this is my big fear that we have 127,000 level ones or whatever. We have a smaller percentage of level twos. We have an even smaller percentage of level threes and the smallest percentage of level fours, right? So maybe it's
Mhm.
200,000 trainers, right?
Maybe. I feel like
Maybe.
that's generous.
Maybe. Who knows? I have a fear that we're going to lose like 10,000 a year. And there aren't going to be 10,000 signing
Coming
up.
back in. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it was one thing 5 or 10 years ago where,
Mhm.
you know, you had your gym owner and your gym owner, I have this shirt from Between the Ears that says, um, make CrossFit counterculture again. And early CrossFit was that. When I say early CrossFit, I mean like,
What a time to be alive.
right? And
What a time to be alive,
you
man.
know, th 2010,
Yeah.
2015, like
I
that
would say, like, anytime,
era.
like, before 2015, 16, like,
Yeah,
anytime from when did Greg start posting on .com? 2002,
2002. Yeah,
right? So, anytime from, like, 2002 to 2015, 16, like, in that realm,
yeah.
anywhere in there would be, like, early days CrossFit at this
Sure,
point.
but like the heyday of affiliate growth was,
Oh, yeah.
like that 2010 to 2015.
Yep.
And so what you saw is like your affiliate owner was at the forefront of, you know, beating this particular drum of a certain kind of view on health and wellness. And
Mhm.
then you had your coaches who were, you know, they were doing the thing. They were, people gather around coaches in a very particular way. And they really are community leaders. And then what you see, and so like you were inspired by that. And because you were inspired by that, you're inspired by experience, you're inspired by what you saw from your coach. You're like, I want to go do this thing. I want to do this thing. Right.
Mhm.
CrossFit changed my life. I've had an amazing experience. I want to do this thing. And so you go and you sign up for your level one. What we've seen since then is we've seen an attrition of those coaches. A lot of them have gotten out and gotten real jobs.
Mhm.
And there have been enough people doing CrossFit for enough time that they've not only come in and seen their coach and fallen in love with their coach, but then also see that coach opt out.
Mhm.
And now it's like, oh, so this isn't sustainable at all. Is the mental math that people are doing.
Mhm.
And because of that, there's fewer people who are like, I'm gonna go do this thing. Unless you feel called, right? Like if you feel
Yep.
the call, great, go ahead, do it. The true believers, there's still gonna
Mhm.
be those.
Yep.
But there's gonna be a percentage of those people who are looking at that and they're on the fence and they see in the 3 years, 5 years or whatever that they do CrossFit in their affiliate, they see that coach retire, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, that's out," you know?
Yep.
And what could have been something magical is snuffed out before it ever
Mhm.
gets ignited.
Mhm.
And that's my fear is that I talk about this with working with Fit Affiliate. We travel a lot, and I was just up in Vancouver, Canada. We're at the Western Canada Affiliate Summit, and
Mhm.
you know, 75 or 100 affiliate owners and Canadians and Americans from like Washington State and Oregon, like drive up and sit in a room and talk about stuff. And And it's wild to talk about them, and they're all looking for a fix. They're all looking for how do we continue to do this? And these people, they signed on the dotted line. They're the true believers, right?
Yeah.
They're all looking for, how do we make this thing sustainable? And then you get a guy like Daniel Chaffee, who, if you don't know Daniel Chaffee, he's the international director of affiliates. So like Jada Coons is his boss, right? And then there's Austin Maliolo, who was all of North America, and Jada Coons has, or not Jada Coons, Daniel Chaffee has literally the rest of the world in terms
Yep.
of, like handling affiliates.
Hmm.
He owns CrossFit Louvre. There are 3 CrossFit Louvres, right?
Hmm.
He got up the second half of the day was all about like, how do you make things sustainable? And in America, we've got this very, very fixed notion of affiliates, what an affiliate looks like, how big an affiliate can be. He's got 3 locations. His first
Yeah.
location has 800 members. His second location
Jesus.
has 800 members. And his third location, his original one, has 1,100 members.
I don't even
Right?
how I don't even have
For his
words.
first location, CrossFit Louvre
Where
1,
do you put it? Yeah.
for CrossFit Louvre 1,
Yeah.
it's in Paris, and it's in a
I assumed.
300-year-old building. The rent is
Sure.
$43,000 a month. And Kevin is having the exact same reaction that literally every other affiliate owner had. They
I
they have
just
no frame of reference for that.
well no, but if you have if you have 800 members and when it comes to like we'll do some coach math here, right?
Yeah,
800 members at $200 a month. Like,
whatever.
wow,
What's
the
the
affiliate
what's the
owner must
convert?
be.
Hold on a
I don't
second.
know
Hold
what
on a
the
second.
conversion.
So
What do they use for
the
primary currency in France? A euro?
euro. Yeah. So if it's
The American dollar is worth nothing. So
182 euros, so it's $200 a month is 182 euros, right?
sure,
So
sure.
it costs him
Times 800 members.
43,000 euros, right?
Sure.
Just to make rent at 182
Yeah.
bucks a month, right? So
Yeah.
43,000 divided by, he needs 236 members just to make rent.
Right. Well, so it's not so much because here's the thing. Like the thing that's blowing my mind that I've been like stuck on was not
Mm,
so much the rent. When you said rent's 43,000, I was like, well, that seems high. But again, if you
Paris.
have 800 members, you need like a 40,000 square foot. Where do you put all those people?
I'm gonna
Because like I don't. We're also assuming that his membership rate is 182 euros a month. It could
all right.
be more or less, up, down, sideways. I don't know. Um, but like the thing that I am like having a struggle to wrap my head around is like where do you put 800 people in an
Mhm,
affiliate? And that might just be because my frame of reference is most affiliates in the United States are somewhere in like the 150 member range. And so
mhm.
doing like 6 times that is fucking nutty.
Yeah, it is. And I'm trying to find
So do you have an
pictures.
answer? Where do you put them? Like here, you're doing thrusters install one. You're doing thrusters install two in the bathroom.
Right, right. Let me
Use the
share.
toilet seat for depth.
Present. CrossFit Louvre in Paris. And we're not gonna share. Let me go share. All right, so this is translated from French to English, right? So obviously,
Sure.
um, the CrossFit is what? The CrossFit for whom? I gotta love French. So
Yeah, you
these
gotta love
photographs,
translations.
like
It's not, but where do you put the people? Sam, that is like that's amazing though. The running through the streets of Paris, that's cool.
that's right.
Um, that's a
Like,
vibe.
just look at this.
The architecture, first of
Yes,
all, European architecture is phenomenal.
sure.
If you don't respect architecture, check yourself.
Right.
Um, maybe go to Europe, experience some architecture. Anyways, like
2,400 people at more than 2,400
the
people satisfied with the practice at CrossFit Louvre 1 and 3 in Paris and CrossFit Louvre 2 in Bordeaux.
so here, so again, we saw the pictures.
Yeah.
Like that
Let me
building that
Discover
they were
box.
in, that building that they were in is like the same size as the affiliate that I worked at in Central Maine.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like maybe like a what, like 3,500 square feet, maybe,
Doesn't
depending on
look
how you cut the angles.
right.
And I'm like,
Now, like, there's obviously some space here, right? Um,
yeah, like it's not a bad sized affiliate or a bad sized gym. Like that's a
no,
I would say that's probably like a relatively average sized affiliate, again, in terms of like
actually,
shape
well,
and
it is.
layout and whatnot.
Uh, oh, okay.
But what
These
I want
are
to know is
a
where
control.
the flying fuck knuckles they put 800 people. Like you just running classes every hour on the hour for 27 hours a day?
I would imagine that it's, 7 days a
Do
week.
they
See, sounds to
Here's a question.
le
Do
planning
they do virtual
here,
classes?
here.
Okay.
So workout of the day, they start at 6:30 a.m.
Jesus.
Yeah. We'll go big
I
here,
can't
and
read these times, but I
I'm gonna zoom in.
okay.
So
Oh, what is it?
GMP. So petite zone or small zone, grand zone, large zone. So they run in two different
2
areas of the
classes.
gym. Basically, two classes back to this: 6:30 in the big, 7 in the small. 7:30 in the big, 8 in the small. 8:30 in the big, 9 in the
So
small.
basically they're offset by half an hour.
They're offset in the space by half hour, right? They've got 11:12, 11:15 to 13:15. They've got a class at 3:30, and then from
Yeah.
4 p.m. to 10 p.m. They run
I don't
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like in each zone, 5 classes on Saturday and 4
yeah.
classes on Sunday. They also have a big WOD, 2-hour block on Saturday. They've got
Mm.
teens class. They've got on-ramp classes. They've got a, what is this? Fast walk conditioning, build 50. So these are like separate classes.
It's like
They've got
specialty
recovery class.
classes.
Yeah, like yoga classes. So like they've got like it's stop sharing. When
I
I
don't
know,
even
I just flashed back to your face. I haven't been looking at your face, and so I just come back to you being like, "What?"
I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, because literally they're
Yeah.
just like, all right, we're gonna run 2 classes, like it's offset, so like I'm guessing, so like
Mhm.
some people out, people in type deal.
Yep. Yep.
Like we're gonna offset classes by half hour, but essentially you're running 2 classes
Yes.
every hour on the hour,
So
essentially
one,
from
2,
6
3,
a.m.
4, 5,
until
6, 7,
10 p.m.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, upwards of says 12, call it 22 classes a day, offset by 30-minute blocks in two separate parts of the gym, 5 days a week.
Fuck me. So, but here's the thing though, it's like you got a staff of like 10 full-time coaches. Cause I mean,
Yes.
you and I know that like if you coach 2 classes to the best of your fucking ability, like when Sam went and took his level 4 and
Mhm.
coached to the he put 100% of Sam into those 2 classes. He had to take like a 2-day nap afterwards.
So
So it's
let
I
me,
don't
they have
it stresses me out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 coaches at just CrossFit Louvre 1. I have no idea how many of those are full time or part time. But what I know from David is they kill what they eat, or pardon me, they eat what they kill. And so every single one of them signs clients. Like people walk in, hey, what's CrossFit all about? Every single one of them knows how to sit down and speak with a client. Be like, hey, this is CrossFit. When do you want to start? You know, like they've received sales training. And because they've received sales
Mm,
training, like this is the big ugly thing where like
they know how to get people in the gym.
they know how to get people. But they
But
understand.
then like, yeah, go
So
ahead.
here, my business manager and I, we had a discussion about this, right? So like
Mm.
it seems bonkers for affiliate owners, let alone for coaches, to imagine a space where they've got 1,100 members and they're running 22 classes, right? But it stops being bonkers when you think about the fact that it's not just the owner who's taking calls and answering things and meeting people at the gym and being like, "Do you want to please join our gym?" Every single coach knows how to do this. And so no longer from like a revenue perspective, no longer is it like the coaches in America, most of coaches in America, it's like if we're talking about learning how to fish, it's the fish has been caught, prepped, cooked, and served to you.
Mhm.
Like and like first bite on the fork handed to you. Like that's what most coaches have when they coach. The people come to you and you just stand
Mhm.
there and you do your thing. And so like when shit gets hard, it's like, well, I don't know how to do things. Whereas this guy has taught people how to fish.
Yeah. Yeah, and so when you've got, I mean, you said they had, what was it?
18.
12, 18. Sorry, 18 coaches. So if you've got 18 people, and let's just paint a picture, because now I'm like my brain's starting to try and like unravel things here as I come down from the shock of Christ on a bike.
Yeah.
Um, so if we paint a picture, right?
Mhm.
Sam's the affiliate owner.
Yep.
He's got 18 coaches at his affiliate. He's
Yep.
taught all 18 coaches how to fish, so to
Yep.
speak. Um, Now instead of like just Sam looking for leads and then coaches having to, I'm going to go like let's say like an American affiliate model. You have
Yep.
an affiliate owner and then two coaches,
Yep.
two full-time coaches that
100
like
members.
have to coach all the classes, 100 members. But it's like with everything that goes on within the walls of the gym, those two full-time coaches are like, I'm coaching four classes. I'm having to do like one or two privates. So like getting um, new members and chasing leads and doing that whole stuff. Like I don't have time for that in my
Yeah.
day. Oh well, hello. Um, so cat.
Ah.
Um, yeah, it's just a cat,
Ow.
but yeah, pretty much. But if you are in a situation where like you've got 18 coaches that you've
Mhm.
taught how to fish, and then now instead of like Sam
Mhm.
taking whatever time he, no, don't click my buttons. Instead of Sam taking what time he has as an affiliate owner, trying to like manage all the shit there,
Yep.
and like just getting a couple leads coming in and trying to work on that, you've got 18 coaches that, let's just say they coach two or three classes, because there was 18 coaches, 22 classes a day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
um so that's, one class per coach, one to two classes per coach if they each coach every day.
Yep.
But let's assume they coach two to three classes and there's like a staggered schedule, whatever.
Right.
Maybe it's like if I work at Sam's gym, maybe it's like I've got 3 days where I'm coaching my three classes and doing stuff in the gym, and the other 2 days per week, I'm going fishing,
Yep.
and like, and that's my job is like, hey, these 2 days, your responsibility is not coaching. I've got 17 other fuckwats for that.
Yeah.
You're going to go fish.
Yeah.
And so then you've got,
And
again,
you eat what you
18
kill.
people. Yeah, exactly. And you've got 18 people that, um, you know, are bringing people in, bringing clients in, and then again, whether it's like commission for people that you sign up or whether it's like a profit sharing
Yep.
model,
Yep.
it's like the coaches are instantly rewarded. If you sign one new client, you get that boost in your paycheck.
Yep.
Boom.
Now, for everyone who
Now,
is like, that sounds right. That's what a functioning business looks like. And so, like,
where's the pizza party at the end of the year for the record profits?
now, also, it's
Yes.
very hard. Daniel Chaffee was
Yes.
very, very, very clear.
Incredibly hard.
He's like, I went into COVID with a
Mhm.
half a million euros in the bank. I came out of COVID a half a million euros in debt. That's a swing of 1 million euros. That's over $1 million USD.
Yes.
So he made that back in 18 months,
The whole million?
the whole million.
So like put him back at like this is like from
Back up to a half a million in bank.
that's That's nutty, man.
It's bonkers. And,
That's
like,
bon
we're way
well,
off topic here, but, like,
whatever.
y
We have no topic.
this obviously Daniel is an extreme example, but this is a man who, with 1,100 members in one facility, 2,400 members across 3 facilities. He's like, "We have never had more affiliates in France. We have 800 or something like that. 800 affiliates in France. Maybe it was 400. It doesn't matter." He's like, "We're nowhere close." He's like, "If imagine how many McDonald's there are. You should have at
Yeah,
least that many CrossFit gyms."
at least that many CrossFit gyms.
Yeah, CrossFit gyms. You should have at least
Uh,
as many. You pick a state, right?
yeah,
How many McDonald's are in that state? You should have that many CrossFit gyms.
doing a quick Google Phil.
Yeah, yeah. Do it.
Um, so Massachusetts has 249 McDonald's.
Okay. How many affiliates?
Jesus. How many? Give me 2 seconds.
Mhm.
Well, this doesn't have the.
We
Um,
we do
I'm
things.
just gonna go to the affiliate finder map.
I'm already there.
Um, are you already there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna beat me to it because Google didn't give me a straight answer.
Location.
Um, I
Massachusetts.
want
There's a lot. Whoa, wait. I wanna oh, that's not
location mess. No, stop it.
I don't want you. I want you.
So
So I'm
oh
I'm on the map, right? And so the
yeah,
thing
so am
the
I.
thing about the map is it shows all affiliates within the bounds of the map. And so as I'm looking at the map, I got a little bit of New Hampshire, I got a little bit of Vermont, I got a little bit of Rhode Island, I got a little bit of Connecticut, I got a lot of Connecticut. Even with
I've got
all
like a
of
little
that,
bit of Maine.
even with all of that, I'm gonna go all the way out to the Cape, make sure I capture those. There's only 194, including surrounding affiliates and surrounding states. There's only 194 CrossFit gyms.
Oh, like in the entirety of New England.
In the entirety of Massachusetts, including portions of New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, there's only
Fudge.
194 affiliates. And so there's 240, 250 McDonald's in Massachusetts.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So we got, 25% more growth before we run out of space.
yeah,
Anyway, I'm very excited for you because and I said the same thing when I was talking to my wife after I got the results. By the way, I failed my level 4. For anyone who's
yeah.
wondering.
For anyone
Um,
that for
for
anyone that
anyone
hasn't been up to date on the Instagrams.
Right, exactly. So I failed that, and I said to my wife, like, this feels like a falling away of things that could be distractions for me. And
Mhm.
in the same way that I'm excited for myself, I'm excited for you because you've got so much experience, and to only put you in a class in front of people day in and day out, as beautiful
Mhm.
as that is, could be a phenomenal waste of everything that you have to offer. And so I'm very excited for what comes out of this. We've
Yeah,
been running for
2024 is gonna be a big year, baby.
it is. We've been running
It's gonna be
for
a big
almost an
year.
hour now. We're gonna get ourselves a little bit of a break. We're gonna come back next week. I have no idea what we're gonna talk about next week.
We're
This
talking
took a
about
hard left
Katie's
turn.
topic.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Katie's topic next time. Next time we're gonna talk about
Yeah,
why we're so bad at taking our own advice as coaches.
yeah,
Because we are, and if you're a coach, so are you.
we are. Yes, yes.
You all are. Until then, um, this will come out after Christmas. So I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and heading into New Year's. Please have a wonderful, happy holiday. Stay safe, everybody. And we'll
Yeah.
talk to you then.
Boom, bang, bang.
Peace.